Art Now Media, communicating impact for climate, nature, people, and development. New day, new inspiration. We join live in back on Baku Briefs, where changemakers are telling us the amazing work they're doing, what they are part of back in home, and why we need to take action and support what they're doing. And joining me is a good friend, Joseph. Joseph, you could just introduce yourself and tell the world who you are.
Okay, thank you, Paul. Nice to meet you again. My name is Joseph Ibrahim from Nigeria. I work for Global Initiative for Food Security and Ecosystem Preservation, an organization that is building community resilience to the impact of climate change in Nigeria. And we have focused on young people, women, and persons with disabilities.
Amazing, nice to meet you. When you talk about food security, for the food sovereignty,
Yeah,
it excites my stomach and my soul because without food, we're
we all love
nothing.
food.
Without nourishment, we're nothing. So, maybe explain a bit about what are some of the programs you're doing on food sovereignty in Nigeria.
Okay, so basically, food is a major problem in Africa. Africa has the largest arable land in the world. Majority, over 70% of our population depend on agriculture for their livelihood. So it is a huge issue. So when we talk about climate adaptation in Africa, basically we're talking about agriculture. Uh, so what we do as an organization basically is seeing how crucial food is to get people to grow their own food. The fact that climate change is impacting our lands, there are solutions that we can imbibe. And one of these solutions is home gardening. So we're encouraging and we're equipping people from different spheres of life to grow food in their own backyard using readily available materials like sacks, plastic buckets to grow food. And the result has been amazing. People, and it's quite interesting. We have been training communities, women, but recently, one of our trainings, we had a person with disability who joined, and the outcome of that training has bettered another entire project entirely. This is because as able people, we have access to land. We can decide to own a land 10 kilometers away from our home and go there, farm, and come back. Others 5 kilometers. But persons with disability do not have that luxury. So in their own little space, they are able to grow food using sacks, and that is what we are championing. That everyone can grow food. We don't have to depend on the large producers.
Wow.
We can be producers ourselves.
Amazing, and definitely that if the power lies in the grassroots
Yeah.
and the local small scale farmer
Yeah.
to bring about the change and actually help us feed Africa. I love that you're actually doing these decentralized ways of ensuring we empower the
Yeah.
farmer at the grassroots
The
level to
level.
actually take whatever tiny space they have to grow their own food and
Yeah.
help with this matter. Just a follow up to that. Why small scale? Why not large scale industrial agriculture? Yet you talked about Africa having the large arable
Large
lands
scale.
for agriculture. Why the small farmer?
Okay, so the majority of the people are small scale farmers. In as much as we want to dream big and we want to do large scale, we understand that the small scale farmers, the small scale agriculture is what employs a lot of Africans. And that is why we focus on that, because we believe that our impact will be more if we focus on that and showcasing the viability and how impactful growing food in your homes can be. We are sure that more homes will be able to adopt that, and in the large scale, we will be reducing poverty and also increasing the harmony at home, because when there is food, people are happy.
And there's peace.
Yeah, and there's peace.
Oh, that is amazing. I wonder whether you also, as part of your trainings, you also consider training them on making organic or tea fertilizers,
Yeah,
compost
yeah,
making, and
yeah.
how are the uptake being for them?
A lot of people love that because we are not just what we train them on is basically climate smart agriculture, and we discourage the use of chemical fertilizers, because they are harmful to the land. So for many of them, it's challenging because we have to teach them about proper waste management and how to use all of that to get organic manure. There are a few hiccups here and there, but a lot of people are picking it up. I think one of the major challenge that we face in some of the communities is because of the area where they produce this compost. Reptiles love those areas. So some of them are skeptical about it. So what we encourage them is to don't do it directly close to your house and just somewhere far, so that if there's any reptile, you have some visible time to see it. But by and large, many of them are adopting it, and the results have been really amazing. Yeah.
Is it that the reptiles like the places because there is heat generated from the compost heap, or why?
Yes, I don't scientifically I've not proven why, but you know that in the local parlance they will tell you that where you have bananas, you have a lot of reptiles around and all of that. So for many of the communities, they use banana peels and all of that. They use cassava peels, yam peels,
That
and
attracts
so
the
yeah.
reptile.
So as it begins to ferment and chemical reactions happen, it attracts some reptiles. But those are some of the things, the feedback we get from the
And I think it's
community.
important, right? It helps you to plan and also assure them that
Yeah,
these are
yeah,
happening, but you can also do what to
yeah,
ensure that you
yeah,
don't interact with them, they don't harm you, and
yeah,
you still carry out organic farming
yeah.
operations. It's amazing. Joseph, we are meeting at COP. I wonder what brings you to COP? Why is it important for you to be at this
Okay.
so-called finance COP?
Yeah, so the so-called finance cup. Like I said earlier, climate finance or climate justice for majority of Africans is around food. We don't have access to our lands. We are not getting the yield that we need from farming businesses. So for me here is basically to advocate for adaptation. And when I talk about adaptation, is basically we need climate finance for agriculture. Because our communities need climate information, and you need resources to pass down this climate information to communities. They need inputs, improved varieties, and all of this requires finance. And most importantly, I will say that climate justice in terms of for Africa is also about food sovereignty. We are getting to the point where the world is pushing Africa to be dependent on seed companies, and I think there are about 7 of them globally. Yeah, so it is about time that we empower Africans to own our indigenous seeds so that we have our own food. It's true, you don't have to wait for a company in America to tell you that get this seed before you can plant. So,
Going back to our roots,
yeah,
the
going
basics,
back to
right?
our root, very, very important.
How are you seeing the negotiation coming around? Like, will we secure something for financing agriculture in Africa? Will it be promising? Will it be just for political announcements and nothing forthcoming?
Based on the first week, it was not so promising, but we are hopeful for this second week and that we will begin to see more traction towards climate finance. We've not had a major pledge. At this point, we don't even want pledges anymore. We just want them to redeem all the pledges that they've made. Sometimes when this is already COP 30, 29 rather, we are in COP 29, so sometimes it's like we've been having this conversation 29 times, and we need more action.
Yeah,
Let's talk and more action.
Amazing. And if you're watching us, keep tuned at Adnal Media. Joseph saying it as it is, agriculture is the safety net we need in Africa. It's an unlocker to even solve our climate crisis. Is the potential to help alleviate poverty from our communities, and really the very solution we need to get our soils healthy ecosystem thriving. Coming back to you, Joseph. Agriculture is a big contributor to, of course, the global carbon emissions,
Yeah.
but also a solution in itself if we do the right practices on our farmlands, in our ecosystems, and working with nature. What would your reflection be around where you see the future of the climate, biodiversity, and communities that are the intersection of the farming areas?
Okay. The future is bright, particularly for Africa, because, like I said, 60% of arable land reside in Africa, so that presents a huge opportunity for us. But there are a lot of capacity gap issues, a lot of issues around technology that we need to leverage. And I think in the next decade, I know the African Union has Agenda 2063. That decade, we need to focus more on empowering our farmers, particularly the young ones who at the moment don't have so much interest in agriculture. You find out that even photos online of farmers in Africa, you find out there is either an old woman or an old man doing something. So we need to bring young people and find a way to make them interested in agriculture. And this is really important because the technology and the innovation and the drive that we need to propel Africa as a very big continent in terms of agricultural product will only happen when we have young people driving the processes and driving the big agricultural businesses in Africa. So there lies the opportunity, and I think that's where the future is. And I'll just use this opportunity to call on young people. Yeah, there's a lot of people in tech. We have a lot of people in tech. We also have a lot of people on social media content. We need people also in agriculture.
Wow, the future is bright, the future is hopeful, and technology can support us. We need to get our hands dirty on the ground and actually reclaim the ownership of our seeds, right? To ensure
Yeah.
our seed sovereignty and really make agriculture work for Africa and African communities. Joseph, there's someone who's gonna watch you or watching you right now, and I want you to use this camera and actually inspire them in your own words.
Thank you so much, Paul. So you watching me, all I have to say is nobody is too small to make a big impact. So wherever you are seated, in your own corner, you can make huge difference. And all it takes is consistency and commitment. With that, the sky is just the starting point. So let's all work together to make this future a better one. Thank you very much.
Let's not limit ourselves. We have our potential. Let's act on it. Thank you so much, Joseph. A wonderful pleasure hosting you and really getting to spotlight your case on Agma Media. Agriculture is a big unlock opportunity and potential for Africa. We need to invest in it and follow these conversations to get to such examples on what is possible and what's working for the continent. Till next time, it's been a pleasure hosting you, and hopefully we continue following your journey to see how it's transforming not just Nigeria but Africa in the long run.
Thank you
The
so
promise?
much. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
The promise.
Nice. Thank you so much, Paul.